I'm going to do this tasting review with you guys today with one of the most unique whiskey cask maturations that I've tried. And I've tried quite a few different cask types. This one I had never heard of and is probably one of the most interesting and unique casks to mature whiskey in. I am talking about Starward's new project release that has been fully matured in Botrytis casks. And Starward sent me a message and said, we've got something interesting. We'd like you to try this whiskey and see what you think of it. I've recently received this bottle from them. They have, full disclosure, sent me this bottle with the intention for me to taste and review it. I did not pay for this bottle. I will, as always, give you an honest and truthful opinion of the whiskey, and I made this very clear to Starward as well before they accepted me doing this. If you are like I am, when I first heard this, I was like, what is Botrytis? Another terminology that is often used when talking about Botrytis is noble rot. So this is a fungus that takes hold of the grapes and then they start to evaporate a lot of moisture, and if the conditioning is right, they become super succulent and sweet, and it actually benefits the grape for the wine maturation. We have a couple of tasting notes on the back. I like when it's just simple, concise tasting notes like this. We have orange blossom, apricot Danish, nutmeg. Fully matured for 7 years in fresh and charred barrels that once held Botrytis Semillon dessert wine. We have 48% ABV. Get a load of the color of that whiskey. That's incredible, right? That's 7-year-old Australian whiskey. Let's pour a dram. And then we'll nose the whiskey, we'll taste the whiskey, and I'll tell you if it's as interesting as the name is. Let's nose the new project release, Botrytis cask. Oh. There's a thickness and a decadence that smacks you right in the face. Bursting with juicy, dried apricot. Like you ever get those dehydrated apricot, but it's still super chewy and juicy? There's a floral note here. It's almost like fresh, flowering jasmine as you come into springtime, and it just fills the air. Loads of pastry. It's almost like buttery croissants. And then when you combine that smell with the apricot, it naturally leads you to think of apricot Danish. I'm going to now try this Starward Botrytis cask, 7-year-old Australian single malt on my palate. Cheers. Oh. Wow. Tons of the apricot. It's just loads of orange type fruit, right? We're talking the citrus is there, that mandarin. Tons of like brown sugar now. Still got a bit of bite, a little hint of spice. The flavor lingers in terms of the memory of it. The impact of the flavor is very big from the beginning, but the finish is short. It hits hard, bubbles up from under the surface. It's this rush of intense, strong, powerful flavor, and it disappears almost as quickly. It's almost completely gone now. In Australian terms, this is getting on in years, right? Like we don't have a lot of age-stated whiskey or whiskey that is in that realm. Let me add a little bit of water now. Okay. We're talking about 2.5 mils. Okay, let's go another time now on the nose with the Starward Botrytis cask and see what else can be uncovered with the addition of water. Balanced it out a touch. It's softened it, but it hasn't diminished the intensity of it. It's just soothed it, it's calmed it, it's let the whiskey relax a little bit. No additional notes, just pure pastry, sweet, dried apricot. Getting some elements of like sticky, dark ironbark honey. The jasmine's still there. Hints of that underlying mandarin that seems to be very common for me in Australian whiskey. Now trying this project release, this experimental release, I like this more than their core offering as well. It's a step in the right direction, most certainly. Time for the finish on my palate. Here's to you guys. Cheers. Mouth watering. Incredible. This benefited so much from that addition of water. It made it even better. 48% is great as it is, but like that 2 mils of water just rounded out the palate, and it's on the edge of cloying. And I like that. Like, I like a sweeter whiskey. I can feel the sweetness on my gums, across my palate. It's almost sticky. It didn't diminish the texture. The water is just what it needed to wake it up a little bit. The only fault that I can find with this whiskey is the finish is too short. Everything else is really, really well done stuff. The finish just disappears too quickly. I've tried many, many whiskeys that are nowhere near as nice as this one, and they get far more love and celebration. So if you are able to still get this, I'm not sure. At the time of recording, this was a ballot release. Starward, I don't know. Let us know, please, if this is going to be something that becomes a bit more of a regular occurrence. If you can get this and you want to try what other expressions Starward can do that I believe are better than what they normally do, yeah, go and grab this. Definitely recommend this one. Fantastic with water. Just really leveled it right up. Thank you very much for coming along, and thank you to Starward, and thank you to each and every one of you who watch these videos, comment on the videos, like and share and subscribe. Thank you very much. My name is Wade. Cheers.